it's Elle and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. And today is another installment of my best of series, and we're going to be talking all about AHAs, BHAs, and retinols. And today we're going to get in real deep on how you should use them, what they are, why you should use them, and what times of the day, and some of my favorites. So before we get going, hit the subscribe button, share this with someone that you think might like it, and let's do it. So this is probably one of the topics that I get asked most about, which is AHAs, BHAs, and retinol. They can be very, very confusing because there are so many different types. Some are really good for certain skin types, some aren't. There's a lot, obviously, out there that is a misconception or do's and don'ts that even myself I have been following over the years that are literally from like one study that was done many years ago, and there's no other claims that really make that study, come to life or be of any kind of truth. And recently I've been doing a lot of research into this topic because there's going to be some new products coming out on the market, and there's going to be some new philosophies that are going to obviously be new to my Elle squad and also to the general skin going community. And I want to start kind of demystifying some things and giving you a little bit more hard-hitting information that I have found recently. So let's get into this a little bit deeper. We're first going to talk about AHAs and BHAs. You may ask yourself, well, what is an AHA? What is a BHA? So we're going to break that down. I have all of my little notes here. So AHAs are alpha hydroxy acids, and they are naturally occurring acids that are derived from plant sugars usually. And some types of those are glycolic acid, lactic acid, citric acid, malic acid, and mandelic acid. There's another one or two that are in there, but these are the most general kinds. And now a BHA is a beta hydroxy acid, and some types are the salicylic acid, and then some types of citric acid can be a beta hydroxy acid, but for the most part, when they're included, they're usually part of the AHA family. So really, beta hydroxy acids, really when they're talking about it, are really salicylic acid. Now, the confusion is what they do. So you can think of AHAs as working above the skin, so A for above, and BHAs for below. Now, that isn't always the rule, but you can think of it that way. So AHAs work on the surface of the skin, so they help with pore size, they help with texture on the skin, they help with hyperpigmentation, they are water soluble, okay? So that's really important to know. Now, beta hydroxy acids are actually oil soluble, and they can actually be more calming to the skin and usually are best suited for my more sensitive to rosacea suffering skin types, okay? So if you have those skin types, you want to reach maybe more for beta hydroxy acids because they have a tendency to be just in nature a little bit more gentle. Now, beta hydroxy acids do work on the bottom of the skin on the inside of the skin as well as on the surface, but their real main component is to get into the skin and really help with that cell turnover. Now, we know AHAs and BHAs are exfoliants. Exfoliants help to the cell turnover. We talked about this in my physical exfoliants video. They help with cell turnover, so they help with overall anti-aging, hyperpigmentation, pore size, fine lines and wrinkles, smoothing out skin texture, overall skin brightening. And so that is what exfoliation does. Now, it can get a little confusing because a lot of the serums that you'll see out there combine alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids together, so AHAs and BHAs together. Usually what is known is that or a simple way to look at this is that AHAs and BHAs really break up the glue that kind of holds those dead skin cells that are on top of our skin together. So it helps loosen that glue, slough off that dead skin, and really allow the skin to renew and regenerate itself. Now, there is some sort of different schools of thought that you need to using alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids together to get the most potent effect, but that isn't necessarily always true. You absolutely can pick and choose if you rather have BHAs or AHAs. I do love serums that combine BHAs and AHAs because for me, for my skin type, what I do, I love all of those benefits because BHAs also are known to help better with acne. You know that salicylic acid is the gold standard in acne medications and acne treatments. So I like to get those serums or those acids to penetrate deeply into the skin, as well as my AHAs to hit on top of the skin to deal with those issues. So to me, it's a complete line of communication, but there is no hard and fast rule here. You absolutely can use one or the other depending upon what your skin sensitivity level is or your interest in using these types of acids. Of course, they come in a variety of things. You can get a toner with AHAs and BHAs, you can get physical exfoliants, you can get serums, you can get washes. So that's a general overview so you can know when you're picking out those appropriate products for you, what acids you need and what you're looking for. So some of my favorite AHAs and BHAs are, and you'll notice I don't use very many because I really highly kind of depend upon my, my rice polishes or my Dr. Dennis Gross peel pads, but I absolutely love these small sampling of serums because for me, AHAs and BHAs can be a little bit irritating to the skin for me, and so I really limit it to things that work. It's something that I have a hard time trying because every time I try something new, for the most part, it just wreaks havoc on my skin. So if you are more sensitive to AHAs and BHAs, you might want to start reaching for something that just has BHAs in it, and it's going to be better for your sensitized skin. Now, this is one of my favorites. I've talked about it a lot. This is the Drunk Elephant Night Glycolic Framboise Serum. Now, this is obviously very pricey, but it's an extremely clean product. So for 30 milliliters, it's $90, and it has 12% AHAs and BHAs in it. So it has glycolic, lactic, citric, and salicylic acid in it. Now, it's also known for acids of this kind, AHAs and BHAs, to be effective on the skin. The pH of these acids needs to be somewhere around 3 to 4, okay, that on the scale of the pH level. And the pH in this Drunk Elephant Serum is 3.4 to 4. So it's right there in that sweet spot, which is fantastic. Now, we also have my favorite, which I have been using religiously, is the Pharmacy's Honey Moon Glow. This is what I use every single time that I reach for acids. I really, really love this one, and I'll tell you why in a second. So it's $58, and it does have 14% AHAs, BHAs in it. It also has hyaluronic acid and honey, and that's why I think for the most part I can use such a higher, much more percentage of AHAs and BHAs because it is diffused or cut with some sort of skin-loving, skin-calming ingredients. This has lactic acid in it as well as glycolic and salicylic acid in it. Now, for me, I have a tendency to use this less often than this one. This for me is very effective. It is very, in my opinion, on the scale of clinical skincare, it is super, super effective. So usually I would recommend this product for more oily to normal skin types, and then I'd recommend this one for everybody, but it is more of a moisturizing serum, so it's more of a lotion. So this is gonna definitely be appropriate for normal to drier skin types. So that's the difference between the two, besides the 12% for Drunk and 14% for Pharmacy. Now, we can't go without talking about this because I know that I want to include all price points, which is, this is the Pixi Skin Treats Glow Serum with 10% glycolic acid, aloe vera, and this goes on at night, and this is only a BHA serum. So if you find yourself being too sensitive, maybe you're rosacea or you have eczema or you just can't stand AHAs, or you've known to yourself, I just can't wear acids, this might be something good to try because it is only BHAs. Now, they also have the, which I didn't talk about before because I want to just kind of talk about it at the same time, they also have the Pixi Glow Tonic, which is the exact same. It's an exfoliating toner, but it has 5% glycolic acid. So if you're just kind of starting out, this might be a great place to start as well. Now, when you should be using AHAs and BHAs, there is some new information coming out. You can use AHAs and BHAs during the day. I don't know how I personally feel about that, okay? I feel that AHAs and BHAs and all the research that I have done, it can make your skin photosensitive. So you need to make sure that, in my opinion, if you're taking my recommendation, this is reserved for your nighttime routine. In most cases, in a general speaking, you can use these serums about 2 to 3 times a week. Definitely should not be combined with other types of exfoliation, like manual exfoliation, if you are just starting out. If you are starting out, my general rule of thumb is to add 1 new product every 4 to 6 weeks and start slow. Try it 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and then see how the skin is going, but start slow. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier to understand the world of AHAs and BHAs. Now, let's go into retinol. Now, retinol, everyone thinks, now we're not talking about retin A, okay, because we'll get there, but retinols, all right? Retinol is a derivative of a vitamin A, and everybody thinks that retinols are an exfoliator. They're not. Retinols are not exfoliating. Yes, they do help with cell turnover, but they are not exfoliating the skin. Retinols are an antioxidant, you guys, so it is really important to understand what the actual ingredient is that you're using to know how to use it and what to use it with. So this antioxidant tells living skin cells to make healthier and more youthful cells. So this stimulates cell turnover, though, but from the deeper layers up to the top layers and not from the uppermost skin layers. And that's super important to remember, is that, so that's how this antioxidant retinol works with the skin. Now, we have been told for a long time that you cannot use retinols with AHAs and BHAs, and that simply is not what's being found out. This is some new light that's being shown on this subject, and I first thought to myself, oh no, this is not good. Oh, baby girl is home sick today, so she's gonna be a part of the video. So we have been told that we cannot use AHAs, BHAs with retinols, and I have felt that actually almost my whole practice, but this video has been a long time coming. Now, you have to understand that retinol is an antioxidant. It is not an exfoliator, so that is why you can use AHAs and BHAs together. There's actually research showing that retinols will help the efficiency of BHAs and AHAs on the skin, that they can be more effective in addressing hyperpigmentation. Now, doesn't that just blow your mind? It did to me, and I just wanted to back this up with a bunch of research. I've been researching this subject for the past about 6 weeks because I just really wanted to give you the most important knowledge on this, because this is one of those myths that I had to personally break down myself. I have actually been incorporating my AHA and BHA serums with my retinols, not every time, but sometimes, maybe 1 or 2 times a week. My skin has personally been fine. You have to understand, I have been using AHAs and BHAs and retinols for years. I also have super tough skin, and I know what it feels like when it's supposed to be doing the right thing. If you have a sensitive skin type, I am not telling you to run out and try all of these products together every single night because you are so excited about this. Again, I really urge you to try this with caution. If you are more sensitive skin, or you notice that you have reactions to any of these products, I will, before I go into the products that I love that are retinols, I will first tell you that if you have any super dry patches or flaking, that is not necessarily a great sign. It means that you should back up off of those and bring that skin back to its normal level of functioning before you start again. Or you should back off of that and do them less often. There's also new research coming out that you can use retinols during the day with vitamin C, because the two antioxidants are really greatly compatible because they are both antioxidants, and retinol does not give the skin the same sensitivity as a AHA, BHA would, or prescription retin A. So I'm not quite sure where I feel or I sit on the line of using retinols during the day, but who knows, we might get there. I'm always up for learning and bringing you guys the most latest information so you guys can be as empowered as well. Now, let's go back to Retin-A. Retin-A should not be used during the day and really needs to be used along its own, okay? That's a prescription strength medication, and let's keep it simple, all right? Perfect. All right, so I had to take a little break during this video since my daughter is home, so let's continue. My favorite retinol products that I am currently very intrigued by and that I use on a regular is, of course, you've heard me speak about these a couple of times. This is the Murad Retinol Youth Renewal Serum. I love this. I use the eye one. This is really the line out of Murad's whole kind of, in my opinion, whole kind of thing that really resonates with me and I find very effective. Now, if you're looking for a retinol and you have super sensitive skin, you want to start slow, maybe you have rosacea, but you want to incorporate a vitamin A derivative, this would be fantastic. This is from Ren. This is the Bioretinoid Anti-Wrinkle Oil Concentrate. So this is going to be your oil step, and this definitely will be the most gentle one that I have personally found that is super clean as well. It's a great product. Everyone always loves the Ordinary's retinol. This is the Advanced Retinol 2%. I'm almost done with this. This is what I used a little while ago. I really enjoyed it. It's super lightweight. I think it's great for all skin types, but it is a little bit more on the like hydrating serum side. So I would say anybody combination to dehydrated would be great for this. Now, I'm not going to dive too much into this because, again, you've seen multiple videos on these, but this is by Murad. I wholeheartedly love these. Now, these are active retinols. This is the Murad Powerlift Wrinkle Zero Night Renewal Serum. This also has peptides in it, but it also has growth factors in it. So you know that if you've had any kind of skin cancer, you cannot use growth factors. But the growth factors are not in the other ones. And this is a booster. So you can obviously use these on your retinol nights. But then one time a month, you use this as a booster for 5 nights straight. If your skin can tolerate it, I would, of course, was able to. But if you're new to it, obviously build up. This is a booster to give it a little bit more power. I sometimes use the booster by itself. Really fantastic, clean, vegan products, animal cruelty free, and they're really effective. This and the next one I'm going to show you are some of the retinols that I've found the most effective for over the counter. All right, so I hope that you have joined me this long into the video. I know today is a little bit wordy, but this is going to definitely be a masterclass on AHAs, BHAs, and retinols. Is the brand new Drunk Elephant. This is their retinol cream. I believe it's a Passioni. Yeah, because I'm so fancy, I can say that word. I really want to just talk to you about this for a second because I just got this in the mail and I have used this about 3 times now, okay? And I want to tell you what I think about this. So, Drunk Elephant has been against retinols for a very long time. I actually have reached out to the company and asked them specifically why she decided to change her mind, okay? Now, I don't know, they haven't gotten back to me yet, doesn't mean anything. I will let you know when and if they do, but basically what her little brochure says is that she didn't know that you could combine retinol with acids. We already talked about that. She also didn't know that you could wear Retin-A during the day. We talked about that. I don't know if I'm on board quite yet, but you never know. She didn't know all of she was kind of under these false pretenses, what we have kind of just talked about all today, about these myths that go around about these products. And so she decided to educate herself a little bit more deeply, which is what we are doing today, and she has decided to add a retinol to the line. What's really exciting about this is that this is a 1% pure vegan retinol and some other nutrient superfood extracts like passion fruit, apricot, kale, and winter cherry. She also threw in peptides and fatty acids, so it's good for you skin-loving ingredients. It's silicone-free, which is great, and it's a comforting formula for all skin types. What else does she say? She says, of course, you can mix this with your glycolic, which we talked about, the night framboise, or your C. firma. But I have used this, again, jury's still out, but from what I can tell so far is I love this product. My skin feels amazing. I have had no sensitivity to it. You definitely want to start slow. So 1 time a week, you know, then build up to that. Again, all these products you want to start slow. But you know what I like about it is it reminds me of Retin-A, because look at the packaging. And it is very similar in consistency to Retin-A. It feels very similar. So it is very kind of creamy and texture, kind of creamy texture like. And a little bit goes a long way. This bottle will last you a long time. Has no scent to it, but except I can smell a little bit of the cherry in it, which is kind of nice. I've also been using this on the back of my hands because I want to see how effective this really is, and that's how I know, you know, a product really is doing something great, because if my hyperpigmentation starts to fade. So the jury is still out on that because it's still too new to me, but my first reaction so far is if you're looking for a retinol, this, and a vegan one at that, silicone free, this might be one that is a winner for you. On here, it does not tell me when this is, you know, into the public, okay? So I did see Trend Mood talked about this, so I'm not quite sure. So if I can find Trend Mood's post and find out when this is, you know, out and available, I will post it right now as I'm speaking. But you guys, it is really good, and it sinks into the skin really quickly, and I'm so far really enjoying this and gravitating towards this. I love everything that it stands for, so it's really cool. I'm excited. All right, so I hope that this helps clear up a little bit. I hope you're on this road with me to always continuously learning and evolving with as technology evolves, and as well as we learn more. It's so important to stay on top of things and really be open-minded to a lot that's coming out on the market. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Lots of love from me to you. Bye, loves. Year. Also, before we kind of wrap this up, if you ever have questions on anything that I've talked about, have I talked about something, have I talked about different techniques, whatever it is, what you can do is you could go into the search bar on YouTube and you type in a topic. So say vitamin C and then put my name afterward, L. Leary, and then all of the videos will pop up that I've talked about that topic, or hooded eyes, L. Leary, or, you know, retinol, L. Leary, and all of that will pop up, and it will be a really great place to have as a resource so you can really kind of, you know, look up by topic. All right, again, thanks so much. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Bye.